We're hoping to unpack practical security lessons, real career growth and insights, and everyday habits that can help students and early professions stay safe in this changing world. Yeah. So welcome to the panel. I'm going to ask a few questions while I give you people time to think of questions that you can ask the panel. So the first question for today is, what's one cyber threat students underestimate a lot? I think we will start.
Anyway,
Okay. Hello. So I'm James Giga. Just a bit of introduction. So I'm the General Manager, Information Systems Audit. So I'm an auditor by profession. Other than being an auditor, I'm also a cybersecurity expert. So I've played roles in terms of as a cybersecurity engineer. So one of the biggest cyber risks that I majorly think students majorly face, I would say, because they are majoring on their emails, that is one of the biggest, which is phishing. Other than phishing, there is also the phishing that you get as well. For example, in an instance where you told you don't have money, but you are rumored to actually getting into groups. For example, someone mentioned forex and all that. So that is one of the things that I think students majorly face as one of the biggest cyber risks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so I'll also take a page from his book and do a short introduction. My name is Gerald Sule, and my background is in cybersecurity, as well as with software development, mostly Web3 and in the AI space. I worked in the SOC for, I think, 4 years, and right now I've moved into a different space. I'm looking at healthcare, specifically fraud detection when it comes to insurance. So that's what I'm currently involved in. And to answer your question briefly, I would say, just by a show of hands, how many of you have verified whether or not your USB cable is secure? No one. And that's one of the major issues that I've faced. I think in the last few months, a number of people are coming up telling me that, hey, they're lost, they're losing their data, or they're being exposed. And it's usually because of these cables. So just be mindful and learn more about it. It's simple, but it will help you out a lot. Yeah.
so good evening, everybody. My name is Joy Moisio, an alumni of Strathmore University, Computer Networks and Cybersecurity year 2024. Yes, I work as a SOC analyst, but I wear very many shoes in that company, Jubilee Insurance. And to answer the question we're talking about today is, I feel like most of the times we talk about MFA, multi-factor authentication, and we think that we need to do that for our emails and maybe some big and important stuff. But your favorite influencers online get hacked. They claim to get hacked, while in reality they're the ones who just gave their passwords. And it's just because most of your social media accounts don't actually have multi-factor authentication. If you have all your social media accounts with MFA, sure. Good job. Yeah, so I feel like students really underestimate multi-factor authentication even on your social media platforms. You might not think it's as critical as that email account, but whatever data you store there is actually quite important for anybody who needs it out there. And without MFA, trust me, we can get it. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Stacy. I'm a cybersecurity engineer, as well as I do cybersecurity trainings as well. So I think one of the biggest security risks I can speak on, from what I noticed when I was in Strathmore, was that there's this issue of forgetting to log out of your email from the company or the school laptops. How many of you guys you're working on reports? You're working on project reports where like you have to print your documents, so you have to go to the library. What's it called?
In phase one, the shop.
There's one also here at STC when you need to go print your papers. So you need to log into your email maybe, and then you can print, right? How many guys actually log out of their emails after? Yeah. Because sometimes I've seen, like, when I used to print my papers, you'd see that how many times have you guys been able to see that, like, maybe someone has forgotten to log out? When you go to the computer labs, do you actually forget to log out of your from your computer? So that's one of the biggest risks. So that in the event that maybe someone was to get information from you or was actually to plant something, your account would actually be at a compromise. So that's one of the biggest risks I saw with students. They did not log out from when you're just trying to print a paper, you forget to log out. So that's something that you need to be mindful of, not only just logging out, but also removing your email from that machine. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. My name is Nyambura Joroge. I'm also an engineer at CyberGuard Africa and also a cybersecurity trainer for GRC. And to answer your question, I would say two. The first one is phishing. I know that even when I was a student and I would see opportunities where I can maybe win a new phone or win concert tickets, any way that I can reduce my costs, I'm going to do it. So that's the way that I know that a lot of students these days can get caught, because the email or the message someone can send you can be so convincing that you could actually believe it. That's the first thing. And then the second thing I would say is something as simple as repeating very simple passwords. I know for me, I only changed this maybe this year. I was using the same password for multiple platforms, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, my Apple ID, whatever it is. And it's maybe the same password I've had since I was 12 years old. So things like that, you don't take the initiative to change something because you know this one password is going to be your password for your email, your bank account, your phone, whatever it is. So I would say phishing and simple passwords that you're repeating on different platforms would be one of the biggest challenges. Yeah.
Thank you so much, our panelists. Points to take home about the two-factor authentication, the logging out of your accounts from public places, like when you go to libraries and you want to search something online, make sure you've logged out your account. There's the issue about strong passwords, but here there's a big problem. When you say strong passwords, what does it necessarily mean? Like, what do the strong word implement? Like, we should use password managers, biometrics. What does it entail?
Okay, I think I can start. For me, I always recommend people to use either password managers or authentication apps. Those are the strongest and best ways that you can secure your accounts, because they give you a platform for you to save your passwords. So you don't always have to remember every single password. And then they suggest to you very complicated passwords, which become very difficult for a hacker to use dictionary ways to try and hack into your account. So I would say use a password manager and also, the authenticator apps such as Microsoft. Those are the best ways. But if you're going to actually generate a password, ensure that your password has different combinations. So you have lowercase, uppercase, you have special characters. Another way that we've also found that secure passwords is actually having space in between your passwords. So maybe if you have a phrase like "I love chicken," it should be "I space love space chicken." Those small things, a lot of computers are not able to generate that and remember that. And many people don't have that as their passwords. So I would recommend, if you're going to actually generate a password on your own, just have some spaces in between. Yeah.
Just supporting her basically. So just having an authentication app that recommends a password for you, because we're humans. Like, we're not gonna forget a 16-character password. We're not gonna remember that, and then like it has to be completely separate from your different account. So just having a password authenticator, the biometrics also really helps a lot in improving our security. So that's all I had to add.
Yeah, basically what they said.
What she said.
So I also have something to add in regards to passwords. So there's a notion that is actually within the industry that passwords are becoming extinct. So we are moving into a world where we use now passwords are now turning to paraphrase. So don't use a password, use a paraphrase. A paraphrase is like how she mentioned. For example, I love this chicken. So that is a word. It's a whole sentence. So you add in the character, the length of that password by making it simpler. So the current age and era, passwords have become more, like for example, if I say at password, I write capital P, password, 1, 2, 3, then I add an asterisk. If I put it in a in a password tester, it will tell me it's strong because it meets all the criteria. However, there is something we call paraphrase. Paraphrase is making it a form of a sentence. Like you say, I love going to school. So it's something memorable, and also it's something stronger. So you add in those key phrases or key characters inside that. Also, the MFA is also good to add. The authenticator is also good to add. But in most instances, password managers help a lot in terms of even remembrance, but also be cognizant on which password managers am I looking for. For example, if you say LastPass, and recently if you've read the news of LastPass, they got hacked and all those credentials got stolen. So select password managers where you know they don't have like a history of password getting leaked. So always also be cognizant in regards to that as well. For example, you can say Bitwarden or others that you might also do your research as you use a password manager. Yeah. So the safest MFA and authenticators are great plus because they have a unique identifier that expires within seconds. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Our next question is about like these days everything has turned to like we're storing everything in the cloud. As experts in this field, what do you think the biggest mistakes students make when storing their credentials in the cloud, and what should they do to avoid like storing the mistakes that they are doing?
Credentials or data?
Their data, like coursework, files, you're just storing everything to the cloud.
So cloud is another big jargon that has come into the industry, such that all your data has to be stored either on OneDrive. You have OneDrive. You have whether it's called Mega, where you store your data on cloud. So one of the things that you have to check in terms of risks is that cloud solution or that cloud provider that you're storing data, is it safe? Do you have like security mechanisms implemented as you log in? Are there MFAs? Are there usernames that you add? Is there an authenticator that you can add? There's also something else that you're adding into it. Like for example, Mega, you have an encryption. If you forget your password, that data ceases to be yours. Or if you don't log in, that data ceases to be yours. It's all deleted. So one thing to ensure that you secure your data is, for example, if you're doing your coursework and you have a report, just embed a password on that report so that in case someone gets that report, will not be able to log in. If it's critical or confidential data, if it's public data, or it's data that you can share with someone, ensure that the link that you're sharing is also key. There's also something that we call data classification. Data classification is where you have your data categorized. Like for example, that file that you're storing, have it categorized. Is it an internal use data? Is it supposed to be accessed by a public person, or is it a private data? So there is the different confidentiality mechanisms, the different data classification criteria. For example, you have the confidential, the public, the private, or the internal for internal use. So ensure that as you upload your file, or as you upload your Excel sheets or your coursework, ensure that it has the right parameters in terms of sharing, so that it's not accessible by someone externally. Like if I give you an example, there's a company called EY. So if you've seen the news, 4.44 TB of their actual data was actually accessed was actually accessed, and this is due to negligence in terms of adding permissions to their cloud storage location. So that is also something else that you're supposed to actually note in terms of when you're storing your data from on a cloud service provider, because you don't have entire control of that premises.
Okay, I'll look at this from two perspectives, from a personal and organizational one. When you talk about cloud, you need to put it in the context of how you're using your devices every day. Cloud doesn't just mean what you're storing for your assignments in terms of OneDrive or Google Drive. Cloud can also mean how many of you guys are saving your videos and your pictures on Snapchat, for example. Where does Snapchat store? It's data. And you have to look at it from that perspective. What avenues or in what ways am I using cloud in my life? And secondly, am I practicing the best cyber hygiene per se, if I can put it like that? I'll give you an example of a vulnerability assessment we did earlier this year. The organization has set up good security in terms of how they're managing their cloud infrastructure, their internal networks, their security policies. So when you're doing an assessment on a technical level, you realize that, hey, these guys are actually checking all of the boxes. But when you're coming to look at the people in the organization who are using these things, that's when you find that the best security is common sense. Let me just be very honest with you. Number one, and how you handle yourself, because the organization has spent so much money on all of these detection tools, but when we're interviewing the staff, someone has their Microsoft account treated on a sticky note, and they put it on their desk because they don't forget it. So things like that are some of the things you realize are what's putting you at risk, per se. The technology in itself has the capacity to keep you secure, but it depends on how you utilize it. And I would say sometimes we go out of our way to expose ourselves without knowing. I don't want to get too technical in this answer because I feel that everyone in this room is in different levels, but if there's something you can take away, just be careful about how you're managing yourself. Look at yourself as a digital citizen. The way you're conscious about your security when you're leaving your house, look at the internet like the environment you're living in and figure out what are the things that are putting me in danger.
Trust issues. There's a lot of trust issues.
Yeah.
Trust issues. Very, very good.
I think to add on to what they've said, I think this is where a concept in cybersecurity known as defense in depth comes in, where one mechanism by itself, as the days are evolving, cannot be enough to help secure your data wherever it is. And that's why we have, like you mentioned, what cloud provider are you using to store your thing? Are you even aware that some of your data is in the cloud? I'm sure most of us figured Snapchat data is in cloud recently when AWS had a DNS issue, right? So what do you know where your data sits? How credible are those cloud providers? Okay, assuming they're hit, what happens? Are the configurations in the cloud that the cloud providers are using, are they adequate enough to secure your data, right? When we come a bit lower, we come to what labels am I using? Okay, you might not do this on a personal level, but on an organizational level, what labels are in use to secure this data? Is this data worth encrypting such that for you to open it, you have to put in a password or something? So it all boils down to how have you structured your defense in depth? And from an organizational point of view, how has the organization done its defense in depth to help secure the data that is sitting on the cloud?
Okay, I agree with everything that they say, but when it comes to cloud security and securing your data in the cloud, whether it's your personal project, you want to host a website on the cloud, whether you want to store certain information in the cloud, we have OneDrive, we have Google Drive, is that usually most cloud tends to work with a shared responsibility model. So a shared responsibility model is that we'll manage the servers for you in the data centers. We're going to ensure that they're always available as well. They're going to be secure because, to be honest, if you look at AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, they're quite secure. I'm not going to say 100%, but they are quite secure, right? But when it comes to a shared responsibility model, depending on what exactly you want to get from them, whether it's you want to host a virtual machine, whether you just want to store your data, as simple as it is that you, the user, you still have some sort of responsibility when you're sharing your data in the cloud. So yeah, the way how everyone says that the cloud is secure, it is secure, but when you're seeing that cloud attacks, is that now if you've not properly configured yourself in the cloud, in a technical perspective, is that maybe for the technical people, you're hosting your website or you're hosting a virtual server in AWS. You're running instances, right? But then maybe from the instances, you've not encrypted the backups. You're not preparing any sort of snapshots in the event that maybe the site was to crash, or like maybe just to have certain sort of backup. You, the user, you're responsible for your loss of data. It's not going to be your Azure or AWS being responsible. When it comes to now the non-technical bits, now maybe you're just sharing your files, you're storing all of your personal information in the cloud. If you do not, maybe your files are publicly accessible, your folder is publicly accessible, you can filter this so that only maybe users, if you the folder is only applicable to maybe users of this certain email address. I hope I'm not confusing, guys. I don't want to get to, yeah. So you just need to be aware when it comes to your Google Drive, who has your password, which devices are logged into your Google Drive, okay? So maybe even if you're giving your phone to your friend, maybe they lost their phone or something, have you logged out from all of your accounts? iCloud as well. You need to log out of your iCloud for devices that you're not using, whether you're giving it out, whether you're selling it. So that's my perspective when it comes to securing your data in the cloud. You are still responsible for how you protect your data. That's not the responsibility for the cloud providers. Yeah.
Yeah, strong point to take home. You're personally responsible for your data.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the next question. All of you are experts working under different fields. Like, would like to hear the story. Like, how did you choose? Like, did you know that this was the career you wanted to do?
That's a good.
I'm going to hear the story behind this story. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I can go first. So, when I was 16, I thought that right now I'd probably be finishing my 6th year or 5th year of medicine at UN. I wanted to become a neurosurgeon, and when I got to Form 4, I did my KCSE, and I also didn't necessarily like biology, the theory bits of it, but I was a medical captain at our school and St. John and everything, yeah. So when I finished, and then when the university things for filling came, of course I did medicine, UN, and then I did engineering, electric and electrical engineering at JKUAT and at UN again. So when I finished, the results came. Of course, I failed my biology, and then I was asked, do you want to do it in parallel? And I was like, yeah, I don't mind. But then one of my uncles came, and he told me about IT and tech. And he had this nice car, he had this nice family, children, he had the latest iPhone at that time. And then I thought, IT must be nice, no? And then he did a practical session for me. He was a red teamer, so he used to hack. And he did a practical session for me, and I was like, this sounds more interesting than 6 years of medicine, yeah? And yeah, that's how I found myself in cybersecurity. I had never dealt with a computer, never dealt with Word, Excel in depth. I didn't even have any technical background whatsoever because my mind was so fixated on medicine. But yeah, here I am today.
Okay, I don't have the same sort of storyline as hers, but like I think for me it was just more of a trial and error. Like just finished high school and I was like, I don't know what to do. you know, I don't know if you guys had the same experience. Like you just finished high school and your mom or your dad is asking, what are you gonna do? You don't know, right? So it was just about like trial and error, just like doing the whole research about IT. I did not know anything about cybersecurity. I did not do computers in high school. So like I had no experience about IT. So I didn't even see myself as an IT personnel. So I just took the time to get to know more about IT, what exactly it covers, and I got to now learn about cybersecurity. So I got to see that it's more than just the coding. It's about, I mean, like cybersecurity, most people just look at it's hacking and stuff. It's not just that. As in, like, there's more to cybersecurity than just hacking. We have the blue team, which is now the more of the defense aspect and understanding how to secure your networks, your enterprise as well. I joined Strathmore at the time, where they were offering the telecoms course, which was now changed to the CNS. And I got to really be interested a lot in cybersecurity. I took the initiative as well and interest to learn more from these online sites, TryHackMe, YouTube, Google. That was before ChatGPT just came in. So yeah, there was a lot of that that I took initiative of. So I think that's what I can say about cybersecurity. And then when I started to work, I started working in cybersecurity, and my whole experience widened about now the different fields of how you can get into. But yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. First of all, I didn't want to get into IT. I wanted to be a painter after finishing high school. But this economy, that was not going to work. And the options that I had at the time, I figured people are encouraging me to do different things: medicine, law, psychology, things that sounded really, really good. And my perspective was, I'll do this for a few years, but I know for sure I'll get bored of this. And this is not my passion. And if it's talking about the economy, we're all struggling. So there's nothing like one course is better than the other one from my financial perspective. So I came to Strath, I did BBIT, and at that time I got into programming. I really loved programming and what it was about, and coding, gaming, and all of that stuff. And that's basically how I got into it. And my perspective in tech is, yes, I'm in the cybersecurity space, but I love all aspects of technology. And they all kind of feed into each other in one way or another. And as I was finishing my undergrad, what I came to understand is what space in tech will give me the opportunity to explore and learn as much as I could. And at first I thought it was going to be something to do with data science, because I did data science for like a year. I worked in that space and I was really bored. For you guys who like data science, modeling and all of that, kudos to you. I was not able to handle that. I would get to a point and I'm like, I'm just doing the same repetitive task over and over again. Once you've done one model, you feel like you've done all of them. People are different. That's how I felt. So don't quote me on that. And for cybersecurity, it's because I had the opportunity to do my master's in cybersecurity here in Strath, because I got a scholarship to do that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not sure about what I want to do, so let me explore this avenue and deal with all that came as a result of that. I don't take too much time talking about it, but cybersecurity has been a journey for me because of three main things that came up. Number one is I was doing blockchain and software development, and I was like, how does this fit into cybersecurity? So I wanted to explore that. The second thing that came in is the imposter syndrome that comes in with cybersecurity. Everyone in this field is an expert. Let me not lie to you. You'll enter a room and there's always someone who's going to try to make you feel like they know a lot more than you do. And it can be very disheartening as you're starting out, because I think, like she mentioned, there's no ChatGPT back then. If you don't know, you don't know. You get. You enter a room, someone is talking about protocols, and you're like, you're always feeling like I need to know more because I don't know enough. And rather than looking at it negatively, just put your head down, learn, and take it like as a learning experience. Then the third thing is, and I think this is the perfect room to say this because I feel that when it comes to tech, it's not the experts who are driving where we are going, it's the people who are in schools, people who are in communities and clubs who decide what trajectory we want to have. And one thing that I've noticed in the tech space, specifically in the AI, blockchain, cybersecurity space, is we are too commercially and financially oriented when it comes to what we want to do. So my question to you would be, look for jobs in cybersec, look for opportunities, but ask yourself, how is what I'm doing helping to benefit the society and the community I'm in, because you have that capacity. Yeah.
Okay, mine is a bit different. So I'm a student from Kabarak. So let me just say how it all started. So it was back then around March 2016. So I didn't just finished high school around 2015. Then there is this thing that or notion that was there back then. You used to do a degree, then you go tarmac. It's called tarmacking. You go look for jobs and all that. So my brother had faced such a scenario. So he did computer science. So one day he told me, as I was looking for degrees to do, or I was looking for a course to do, he told me, just research about. So I wanted to do the same thing that he did, computer science. So he told me just look about the new trends and the new technologies that are coming. So that's when I first heard the phrase cybersecurity. So 2016 is just the other day for me. Maybe for you it's long ago, but for me it's just the other day. So that's when I decided, now let me look for a course that or a university that offers cybersecurity, and that's when I just went to Kabarak University. So the entire of my degree, my degree has been cybersecurity and forensics. So that is a degree that I did at Kabarak University for the 4 years. So after graduating, as I was in campus, so there's some things that you normally do and you have to do them. So one of it all that I noted about cybersecurity is it's a lonely field. So we were the pioneer class. So we didn't have anyone to look for. We didn't have anyone to mentor us or to guide us in terms of whatever we need to do. So we had to actually dig in and crunch. So that's when I realized by the cybersecurity it's a lonely journey. It's a journey that you cannot, you don't have to have friends. Sometimes you find yourself, you're just doing your own things. So I was lucky to have team members who we used to actually spend an entire night trying to hack a single box. And that is back then around 2016, 2017. So we used to sleep at the computer laboratory, just seated there, our laptops, trying to read, trying to crunch, trying to see what is this new thing, what is this new technology that we need to test. So our basic test was in form of networking. So you use also to pen test the first thing that you always hack is, or you always try to hack is your school's network. So you just take the router, you just access the network, you try sniff for credentials, you try hack through the systems and see whatever is there. So that is when that's how we build our skills, and that's how I build my skills. So I had friends who we used to support here. So we are actually 4 of us. So we used to spend a whole night in computer lab, day in, day out, just learning the new skills. So one thing that we majorly said is that we are new in this university. We don't have, we don't know even if we are going to graduate, but we knew we had to come out with something tangible. So my skills have been built all over from since 2016 till today. I still do cybersecurity. So, but when I finished campus, apparently I didn't find a job. So that is the hard truth. So the first job that I found was a forensics job, and that job I actually did for 0 shillings. So it was like a volunteer job. I looked for all jobs. My dad trying to look for county jobs, but I rejected all those. I didn't want to do support or IT, or whether it's IT admin or all that. No. I said if it's not cybersecurity or it's not anything that I did, I won't go to that specific job. and I landed a position as a forensics examiner. So I've done forensics examination, I've done forensics investigation. Then I got a cybersecurity internship job after that, which I also was not also paid, so it was a free one as well. And then later on, now I got a real job. And mind you, that job that I got, I was getting paid 10,000 Kenya shillings a month. So it's a hard journey, and it's something that you will take to. So everybody has their own paths. So you take your path and you decide to go with it. But other than that, it's been a whole lot of a journey. I've been a systems auditor. I've been a cybersecurity engineer. Right now, I'm the general manager, information systems security engineer, security auditor at Applied Principles. So it's been a journey for around 7 years since I started working. I started working around 2019 till now. So it's a whole sort of a journey that has driven me. So I've worked in the insurance industry. So I think I've worked in Jubilee. I've also worked as a cybersecurity engineer at Summersource, working with the AI systems and all that, testing AI systems. But all in all, I still keep pushing on, and skills are not built. So there's one phrase that keeps me going, and you're not born knowing. No one was born knowing anything. Everybody is at zero. Any stage that you go, you're always at zero. If you come out of campus, all of you will be at zero. So how you approach the market is what matters. So if you approach the market in a different aspect, you'll become successful. You'll get the jobs. But the jobs don't find you, you find them. So, like for example, right now, as a matter of fact, I reject jobs actually. So, I reject jobs for big companies. So I've actually rejected several of them from big corporations, banks, the big banks here in Kenya. And the reason being is because I have a driven motivation. I know what I want. It's not necessarily of what the bank will give me. What am I getting out of that specific bank or that specific job that I'm going to? So that is what I would encourage you, and also I would tell you as my journey and how I got into this space of audit and also cybersecurity. Thanks.
Okay. I think for me, mine was slightly different. So when I finished high school, one of the grades that I did really, really well in is computer science. So I was like, okay, I'm good in IT. Let me go into Strathmore and do computer science. So I came to Strathmore and I only lasted a month here. And I honestly could not do the computer science course at all. It was very different from high school to what it was in uni. So once I did it, I was like, if this is how IT is, let me go and do something completely different. I don't want to see any computer. I don't want to work with anything. So I went into doing politics and economics. And I did that for 3 years. But during my final year is when now I was like, okay, I mean, maybe computer science is not the avenue I want to go into, but I could do something different. So now I started researching about what are the different avenues you can go into within IT. I looked at UX, UI design. I was like, okay, this is nice, but I'm not that artistic, so maybe I shouldn't go down that road. And then I found cybersecurity, which is now when I started learning about it, learning what it is, what does it involve, what are the different roles. You know, it's not just coding. You have GRC, there's so many things that are involved within cybersecurity that a lot of people don't talk about. So once I started doing my research, I finished uni, and then I dedicated the whole of 2024 learning what cybersecurity really is. What does it entail? What kind of person do I need to be to become a cybersecurity engineer? What are my goals? All these different things. So I enrolled into Moringa. I did their prep course for about 3-4 months, and then I did their 6 months, their boot camp, which is the CompTIA boot camp. And also within this year, I was constantly trying to learn. So I was using Hack the Box, TryHackMe, different platforms that you can use to actually learn and advance your skills. That's the biggest thing that actually helped me. And now once I was done with that, I now started looking for jobs. So this was end of 2024, beginning of 2025. And I think that was one of the most humbling experiences ever. No one talks about once you've come out of uni and now you're looking for jobs, how difficult it actually is. Because in your head, you assume that maybe I'll last 1 month without a job. But for me, I lasted a year and maybe 4 months without a job. And it was not easy, but the thing that really helped me, which I would advise anyone in this room to do, is number one, continuous learning. Learn, take the time to actually do these courses, even if it looks boring, or maybe you might have to dedicate one weekend to not going out, but to actually do something, just try it out. And then once you do these courses, post what you've actually done. Post what you've done, what worked, what didn't work, and maybe try and say every single Sunday I'm going to post on LinkedIn. Show people what I've done. Show what I've learned this time. What has it helped me understand better? What are the questions I have? And then even reaching out to people and say, hey, by the way, I've seen that you're an expert in this industry. I've tried to do this. This has worked. This hasn't worked. Can you help me out? That's how you start to market with people. That's how you start to network with people. That's how people start to remember who you are. Because I remember even with this job now, I didn't get the job because of applying, but because of networking. The biggest thing I can tell you, your network is your net worth. Who you meet at different conferences, even small things such as you know that people are coming to speak at your class. Come and introduce yourself. Come and say, hey, by the way, my name is this. I'm very interested in cybersecurity. I hear you're an expert, would love to connect on LinkedIn. When I leave or something, I'll always remember that student that came to speak to me. I'll always remember the person who came and said hi to me, the person who made a difference in terms of how everyone else is doing things. So post on LinkedIn, make people see you, make people see the kind of skills that you have, the things that you're doing. That is the biggest thing that will get you very, very far and land you jobs, allow you to be in rooms that you never imagined you'd be in. And yeah, that's what would really advance your career. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much. From all your stories, there is confidence, there is trying. Like you try everything, you try out everything. And then the last and most important thing, trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process. And now, like for my final question, what's one cybersecurity myth you'd like to kill today?
Only one.
I have one. Don't say there is no jobs. Hey, cybersecurity, there is a lot of work. A lot and a lot and a lot. And I will say a lot without fear of contradiction, because the amount of work that I've done, actually since I started, it's a lot. So there are different variants of cybersecurity. There are different. There is a technical, there are non-technical. There is also the governance. There is risk. There is business continuity. There is a lot and a lot and a lot. So jobs are there. For example, if you take cybersecurity, the technical aspect, you have application security, you have engineering, you have a security engineer, you have a SOC analyst, you have a web application engineer or a web application tester, you have a network engineer. There is a lot and a lot and a lot. So that is one myth that I would want to kill, that cybersecurity is only cybersecurity in just a layman's language, but there is a lot and a lot to be done. That's only one that I have. Another one I had.
Yeah, just to add to that, a myth that's coming about, not just for cybersec, but in tech, is that AI is coming to take your jobs. Let me tell you, one thing that I've noticed is everyone knows about coding agents and vibe coding now, but the amount of, the quality of applications that are being deployed has gone down. So meaning there's even a larger need for auditors, pen testers, and people in the space because of it. Yes, it takes like 10 minutes to build an application, but it's multiplied the amount of time you need to secure it, debug it, and all of these things. So the opportunities are there. Another thing is that it's about positioning, how you position yourself in the cybersecurity space. An example would be 2 people or in this room would get the same offer for a specific cybersecurity job. It's an internship, it's unpaid, or rather you're being paid by experience, okay? Your needs are different, but you're all starting at some point. So instead of looking at it from a monetary perspective, ask yourself this: where will I get opportunities to learn and build my CV? Number one. Secondly, where will I get opportunities to network? Right now, you'll pick a job because it's your first opportunity to work. But you'll find that in this job, who are the people you're being introduced to while doing this? Okay. An example would be the first internship I did was in HP Lab in Strath. It wasn't that I was getting a lot of money, but it was like, what? You see how Talo has laughed? It's because that's the thing. But I didn't have access to a senior developer who would tell me this is what you're not supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do. I would have never learned about things like deployments and stuff like that. So think about it in that sense.
So, yeah, I actually agree with what he's saying. Like, one of the myths and one of the things that actually had broke me when I was first job hunting was the amount of money we used to sit down and do research on that a cybersecurity professional earns. My friend, when you're starting, let's just say, learn fast, learn a lot. Let me tell you, nothing in this world is free, and they mean it. And it comes to apply in cybersecurity in this sense. That money you think they pay those cybersecurity professionals, it's because they know. They really, really know what they're talking about. They really, really know what they're doing. So most of us, you find we were paid by experience. I can say for a fact, very confidently, that it was my first free job that got me all my other 2 consecutive jobs that I got. It was just because of that name there. But I remember I was very reluctant to go there because it was like, no, we're only offering you an attachment. And even when I went into the internship, it really took a toll on me, because I thought that there's someone earning much more doing something maybe that is not even half as serious as what I'm doing, handling as much data as I'm handling, as many companies as I'm handling. But the experience I got from there is everything to me today. Yeah. So one of the myths you need to really let go of is that you will land those multi-million jobs instantly. Another myth I'd like to say is, when you're studying cybersecurity, think of cybersecurity as an art. Don't think of it like you're going, for example, if you want to be a red teamer, which is what most of us normally envision when we think of cybersecurity. You want to hack, you want to break things, you want to just cause havoc one way or another, yeah? There's a lot that ties to you being that red teamer, right? As a SOC analyst, I also red team some.
It's not true. Yes, it's good for you to have them, but then what I see a lot of people have, you have like CASSP, you have ISC2, you have CompTIA, you have like 10 of them. And then you're told to perform a penetration test and you can't do it. Yeah. So you have all these certifications that are in your CV, but when you're given the technical exam, you cannot do it. You can't perform. So what I would want people to do is gain these certifications as a way for you to maybe land a job or maybe get an interview or something. But don't let it be the thing that you're depending on to show what you can actually do. Let those skills that I keep on talking about, the technical skills, whichever area you want to go into, the technical skills, the skills that you actually know you need in a job day to day, let that be the thing that shows what you can do, and then maybe your certifications be on the side. But please do not listen to people who say that for you to land a job in cybersecurity, you need all these 30, 40, 50 certifications. It's not true at all. You can land it as long as you are skilled and that you're motivated to learn. That's it. Yeah.
Just a good example to give you. You know, we have Benjamin Delpy, who is a French, who is the guy who founded Mimikatz. If you have used Mimikatz to do password cracking. So recently he was invited for Microsoft to talk to, of course, young security specialists. And he was saying he doesn't even have a degree. And his code for Mimikatz, it was, I think, 62 lines. So you can imagine. And he said the reason why he did like that is only so that it cannot be detected. And from that, he doesn't have any, he's a head of security for a bank in France, in Paris, but he doesn't have any certification. So it's all about your skill, and that is what mostly, and when you look at the industry here in Kenya, when they're employing, that is where now they've been, of course, I can't say they're doing wrong, but that's where they're doing wrong. So they focus a lot on certifications and then the technical or what the person is bringing. So they want you to have many certifications that she has, Nyambura has already talked, Nyambura, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Nyambura has talked about, which is not supposed to be. So you can, just as Nyambura said, you can do one certification, and remember certification expires after 3 years, some 3 years, 2 years. So if you're doing one, you need to do it when you're in 4th year or when you're looking for a job. So you don't have to do it when you're in 1st year, 2nd year, because what may happen is, it may end up expiring by not helping, and you know, certifications are very costly. Yeah.
Yeah, so just basically backing up with what they've said. In terms of networking, before I get to my point, maybe something that I don't know if they've mentioned is that I get you guys as students, and like sometimes we get a lot of rejections because I have been there. I've received a lot of rejection emails from jobs when you're looking for internships. For those when you start your internships. So one of the things that I learned when I was in uni is we have the career fairs in Strathmore, right? Go for them. Those careers, they're not going to market their products. They're going to poach people. I got like 3 internship offers just from those internship offers. Another thing, talk to your lecturers. Your lecturers work in the field. They can help with connecting you for jobs. So simply in terms when you're looking for jobs is don't be introverted in a way, but like I get we're all introverts sometimes even is an introvert, but like no one is going to know you when you're just like quiet in your room. No one is going to know you, but like it becomes easier to get roles by networking. So how does networking work? Going for cybersecurity or IT related events, making friends from those events, not just attending them, but like try talking to as many people as possible. You find yourself, people hardly overthink about you. Like just make an impact, positive wise. Just talk to people. Go for career fairs. Go for more events, cybersecurity events. Go for the career fairs. So that's a way. One of the myths that I'd say is that GRC is boring. GRC is not boring. It's not boring. It's actually not boring. It's all about like the interest, because I get like there's not the whole hands-on technical expertise like this hacking, but that's not only what cybersecurity entails. We have now more of the blue teaming, what we usually do. So when it comes to enforcing policies, you also need to have some technical expertise about certain practices that and implementations about what you can do in cybersecurity. Because sometimes maybe not everyone has the interest of hacking. Maybe someone tried the red teaming, they're like, maybe this is not really for me. It comes to malware analysis, not really the best for me. So like she said, just open your mind about different fields in cybersecurity, but GRC is not boring. I'd say that. It's not. Yeah.
Thank you so much, our panelists, and for everyone who is here. Thank you so much. It's been a good session. We've interacted, we've answered our questions. And I think those who have questions will follow up. And thank you so much. And we've learned cybersecurity is not only for experts, but for us all. And to be secure, you have to use strong passwords. Yeah. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to hand it back to Mary.